Buddhism. How to know the universe. Is there such knowledge exist which can be conceived without knowing the empirical universe, material objects, and without sensory data? Is it possible to know the mystery of universe without keeping faith on sensual information and without the help of intellect? And Buddhists already set up that reality do not exist out of the sphere of consciousness, and in reality there is no objective or material world, then how can one have a knowledge of object or of universe? Yes, and Buddhists tried their best to form such knowledge, not based on the empirical things. They said that the mediate Adhyavasaya type of knowledge is that knowledge whose validity is independent of all sense expressions. It is thus a logical law which guides the intellect and is not dependent on the empirical sense data. They explain the inferential aspect of such knowledge through apoha, which means the view of meaning, and in that Buddhist evoked the principle of Adhyavasaya, mediate knowledge. The knowledge of the particular thing, such as a or cow, is not possible without being determined by the exclusion of all other things, which is not a or not cow. Therefore, all other things or non-a or non-cow refer to anything in the universe except a or cow. The cognition of non-a or non-cow is a humanly impossible feat, and for all the cases of non-a or non-cow scattered all over the universe cannot be grasped empirically. They can, however, be inferred. This is the work of inference, otherwise inference become powerless. Buddhists empathetically desired that there can be any real thing indissoluble connected with other things, and provide the logical ground of anything in the universe. And since this relation is not a sense datum, the relationship of reason and sequence does not depend on the external world. The relationship of attribute and subject is a creation of the intellect. The ideas thus obey the law of connexions and not imposed by empirical objects, but the function of our own thoughts, and this are a priori in character. The apoha theory and the Buddhist view of relations and inference are so intrinsically connected with the principle that without it the Buddhist cannot resolve many logical difficulties in this system, and nor can defend from the realist criticism. Now the application of the principle of Adhyavasaya, mediate knowledge, gave a new impetus to the investigation of problem of knowledge and logic in Hindu philosophies. And this is a remarkable contribution of the Buddhist philosopher Dignaga and Dharmakirti school. The chief exemplification is very much and truly seen in the logic and mathematics without a simple form and without any empirical knowledge. The equation that 7 plus 9 is equal to 16, and this we can know by the simple numbers and by thinking, which is not dependent on the empirical or sensory information. In this school of Buddhist logic, it is described knowledge as of two kinds, Savalakshana and Samanya Lakshana, and by this two ways one can attain cognition. Savalakshana is the ultimate real, and for it alone is efficient whatever is casualty efficient is real. Reality is being and thing are different names for the same efficient and also momentary. The opposition of this is functional and non-efficient, whether it be pure fiction or productive imagination. All thoughts construction is non-empirical and thus is not the object of observation, of the sense of perception. In this view, only this present, here and now, only the atomic event or events considered to be real. Therefore, all past and future, mental or notional, general and universal constructions belonging to language and logic are different from the real. And similarly, all relations that are made logical concepts. Reality therefore is ascribed to the moment of flux of the physical world, corresponding to these two kinds of objects, real and formal, empirical and conceptual. Knowledge is of two kinds. It is either immediate or mediate. It is either the means of grasping the momentary atomic event, or it is a source of apprehending formal facts. The constructed world of the mind, the immediate one, is simple sense, stimulus, pratyaksa, which while the second one is the indirect or mediate knowledge and is conception termed as inference, anuman. Now, immediate is a passive reflex, pratibhasha, and the mediate is a conditional reflex, kalpana. Constructed cognition, adhyavasya. Now, what is the object of knowledge? It is of two kinds, again as identified by Ratnakirti, and it is explained beautifully in a real, very scientific method and in a simple notion. First, it is directly grasped, or secondly, through logically constructed. Whatever is reflected in the intellect through sense objects and through sense contact is directly grasped, but that which is, even though not being grasped empirically, forms and on the basis of our own propositional attitudes constructed in a logical construction. Now, critics came out against the Buddhist apoha of non-A or non-Ka and argued that since the reason hetu is said to be merely its being the negation of the thing A or cow itself, is a priori ascertained with inference, to which we can cognize a case of non-A or non-Ka. And since the thing is a priori ascertained, there is no point in knowing cases of the other, the non-A's or non-Cows. What then is the necessity of apoha? And therefore, for the purpose, the exclusion of all that which is non-A or non-Cow is not important. The cognition of cow is determined by the exclusion of non-cow and vice versa. The cognition of non-cow is dependent on the cognition of the cow. Thus, the verse term apoha cannot be defined as the differentiation from the other non-A, because the very differentiation of a universal non-A or non-cow involved the cognition of A or cow. Further, it is also questioned that whether it is the individual or the universal which is to be cognized in the exclusion of non-cow or non-A. That is, our individual horse, elephant, or the classes of horse or elephants to be excluded by the term non-cow. Again, to understand cow from non-cow, we exclude cow in the black, cow in the brown, or cow in the white to know the cow, or we exclude horses, elephant and goat as now non-cow To understand the cow, the law of opposition. Buddhist philosophy is a negotiation and based on the priori opposition, Virod, of unique momentary particular entities. Dharmakant Kirti said that all negotiations are rooted in opposition, which can be divided into two classes: efficient opposition or incompatibility, when one fact has duration or as long as the sum total of its causes remains unimpaired, and it then vanishes as soon as another, that is, the opposed, fact appears. It follows that both are incompatible or efficiently opposed, just as the sensation of heat and cold. Logical opposition or contradiction, when there is also opposition between two terms, when their own essence consists in mutual exclusion, as between the term like external and non-external, reality and unreality, existence and non-existence, blue and not blue. The proposition of opposition, however, poses many logical difficulties, which are also discussed by Buddhist philosophers. Incompatibility of efficient is negation of terms or entities as of sensation of heat and cold, and contradiction of logical opposition is negation of proposition as of blue and non-blue existence and non-existence. These seers maintained that every term or proposition is the negation of its own negation. Even affirmative proposition entails the exclusion of its negation, and a given proposition is true if and only if its contradictory is false. Dignaga beautifully further said that the term, for instance, the blue lotus, now only exclude the lotuses that are not blue, but excludes those blue things which are not lotuses. Thus, negation is not only for the lotuses which are not blue, but all blues that are not lotuses. Buddhist theory of negation inference corresponds to the simple negation and entails the implicative negation. The Apoha theory corresponds primarily to the negation by implication concept. Ratnakirti said that negation by implication is found rooted in the immediate knowledge of the thing, as this therefore commonly applied to both affirmative and simple negation negative propositions. That means that there can be neither a pure affirmation and nor a pure negation. This is the reason why one does not go and tie a horse or a dog when asked to tie a cow. Apoha is the basis of discriminatory behavior in everyday life, and differentiation is the prime factor of all reflective thinking. Thus, the Buddhist could conclude that it is differentiation that is manifested by words and reason and apprehended through language and logic.